Welcome to Popcorn Planet. I am Andy Signore. Man, this was an awesome show today. We've been talking so much in depth about should Chris Rock apologize. Have an amazing panel here. Steph the Alter Nerd. It's Kim, Lewis Lecca. And man, we're going to have that dialogue again tomorrow publicly, but if you want to catch it and all of our member-only replays, the full streams, become a member today. Hit that join button, and you can join any level and go to our members-only playlist. It should be working now on the main page. You can check all of our replays at your leisure and see the whole streams, hang out with our community. But our main story today that I'm clipping here and getting right to is about Miss Britney.
It's Britney, bitch.
I got the cue drop whenever we need it, and Britney is back, and she is slaying Justin Timberlake. Now, she's come at him before, and then she's seemingly okay with him, and then she sort of comes back again. Kim, I know you've really been following this really closely as well. You've brought some other information to help us with. But this latest Instagram post that she posted really called him out along with others. And so I want to break down this story. I want to talk about Justin Timberlake. Did he use her fame for attention? Use her name for fame and attention? Did he exploit her? Here is the Instagram in question that's now deleted. Here we go, guys. Okay, so I like my new dress. Psst, guess what? I had a calling last night from Jesus. And you know what he said? Dear child, your mom had a serving with her book at the exact time when you needed her most. All for what? Fame and attention. Your ex did the same thing. He served with his first album using your name, claiming you did him dirty. Then your blood, one of the hardest times in your life. Guess what your sister does? A book too. All for what? Knowing doing a book is the last thing you would ever do. Well, because you ran away from drama and created a dream world for yourself. That's why artists play characters to escape. So since I know you don't want to tell your story as Jesus, your Lord and Savior, I'm going to give you 5 bottles of Jack and a life supply of McDonald's French fries. Now go play, dear child. Now, Kim, I want to go to you first because anybody who's not following this Britney drama might deem her crazy just for what is she talking about with Jesus calling out in these dreams, etc. Can you give us a bit more context as to what's happening here?
Okay, I have to watch my words very carefully, but I think a lot of people who are fans of Britney will understand why, and you guys will know who I'm talking about. So prior to the conservatorship, Britney had a woman that she alleged was following her. And she was a very religious woman.
I'll say her name, Lou Taylor?
Yes, that had many opinions.
Lou Taylor,
she had many opinions, and there have been emails that have been leaked from around that time of Britney saying, she's a crazy stalker person and she won't leave me alone. And she made a lot of comments around that time, kind of joking of, this lady came to see me and she's like, go see Jesus, go see the light. And to me, when she's been referencing that type of stuff, I honestly think it's a callback to that. I think it's her poking fun at this idea of them kind of saying that, she was crazy, but, religion would save her and all that type of stuff. And this person was absolutely very involved and is still very involved with
Are you afraid to say her name, Kim?
I am.
That's scary. Oh, I feel bad. I'll say it. Lou Taylor, 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 Lou Taylor.
If you say it 3 times, she appears behind you.
Oh, that's so.
Lou
that's
and Taylor.
So.
That's so scary and cute at the same time. We're going to get you the confidence to say her name on a video. That'll
And
be
also,
at some
why
point.
is that doll behind you moving?
No, but here's
At some point, Steph, we got to get the build up.
What?
At some point, Kim, we got to get Steph. We got to get Kim to get a build up of. I'm finally going to say the name. We're going to get you there.
say your name.
Say her name. Say her name.
No.
Got to say all their names so we expose them for who they are. But continue anyway.
I think some of it is because we know that she's a very litigious person. And I disagree with many of the decisions she's made. And as someone who was raised in religion, I have a lot of issues with some of the things that she's chosen to do with her authority. So leave it at that. But I believe that whole idea of her kind of making the joke of let us pray, basically. I think that's in reference to that. I think that's kind of the idea.
Yes, because there was this alleged moment where she was coming out to do like an exorcism, speculating. Lou, we're speculating on things we've heard.
Speculating.
So don't come at me with your false. Oh, what is happening? Don't come at me with your false claims, because we're allowed to speculate all day on this platform. And who knows if they're true? Britney seems to say they are. I'm waiting the trial so we can actually get it confirmed. But and please sue BJ, that surprise witness, so she can find out if it's true. But yeah, Britney alleged that you showed up to her house like wanting to do an exorcism because Big Jamie brought you in. And yeah, it sure seems likely. But anyway, thank you for adding that clarity, as all of us who have been following know that yes, Lou Taylor allegedly brought a lot of religion in. Even though Britney and her family have been religious, Lou Taylor took it to the next level, correct?
I believe so, yes.
Yeah,
she took Big Jamie to the River Jordan to be baptized.
That's pretty intense.
That's pretty intense.
So that sets up the anybody who's like, well, why is she talking to Jesus? It's she's writing it in a way that has this allusion to the subtle ideally, clearly, Lou Taylor's reading this today and going, oh, that bitch, is really what I imagine that's happening, right? She's talking about me again.
Speculatory, our opinions, allegedly.
My opinions, my conspiracy, whatever, right, Steph?
Whatever.
I believe man, whatever.
It is what it is. That one, sometimes it just fits perfectly and stuff. I love it. My opinion, my conspiracy theory, my whatever. But
hang on. My opinion, my conspiracy, my theory, my whatever.
Oh, it's my theory. Yeah. Okay. My opinion, my conspiracy, my theory, whatever. Okay. Because one can have a conspiracy theory too. Thank you. You say it so fast sometimes. I mishear it. But now, beyond that, okay, so now we know what she's alluding to here. Mm-hmm. Then she goes into, your mom served her with a book at the exact time when you needed her most for what? Fame and attention. This is, we're talking about Through the Shadow, Lynn Spears' book that Miss Lou Taylor, Jamie-Lynn revealed, wrote with her, made it so it was possible. And she did that for fame and attention. And then her ex, the one she's referring to, which ex of hers made a first album where her name was all about it, where he did her dirty? I'm talking about Mr. Justin Timberlake, who Britney has called out, pointed out the girl. But in that Crimea River video, that's when he put a lookalike Britney. And let's be honest, back then, people were like, "Damn, Justin!" Right? Yeah. A lot of us may have made that mistake of like, "Oh, Britney was," I fell into it. A lot of us fell into it. And now, as we get to reality, since Justin's apologized earlier, looking back, this was pretty scummy. Yes, Kim?
Yes. I think just one thing I just want to say about this whole situation when it comes to Britney is I think Justin took this situation, took their breakup, and amplified it to an insane level for his own benefit. And I feel like a lot of the time, I think we've talked about this a lot since framing Britney Spears, and also since Janet Jackson's been talking more, that he definitely benefited from taking advantage of other women, in my opinion. But I think something we have to remember about Britney is she could have gone off at him. Absolutely could have gone off at him. And she would have been absolutely justified. Sorry, I just realized what I just did. Anyway.
That's the Justin Timberlake. Yeah, clever. Absolutely justified.
I didn't intend that, believe it or not. But Justin took every opportunity to promote Crimea River. He even went on like Barbara Walters and showed her a song that didn't make it to the album, but he wrote and played it especially for her. And it was, literally one of the lyrics was just basically saying, what a horrible woman. And it was very obviously directed at Britney.
Wait, I don't even think I know that one. We got to do a video on that. He really did like unreleased Britney
it's a
song.
Moment. Whoa. But here's the deal. Britney has released one song that she has confirmed is about the breakup. And that is Every Time.
Yeah.
And obviously incredibly successful. What a moment in her career, especially for a song that she wrote pretty much by herself. She did have some help with the arrangements as well, but the main piano riff, the lyrics, they're all her. This is from her heart. And she's apologizing for her ownership in a relationship. And I think that's a very mature thing, because I honestly think with every breakup, there's always fault on both sides. it may be 90-10, but there's ownership there for everybody, and disagreements sometimes. But there were 2 other songs that Britney wrote about Justin. And both of those, one of them was never officially recorded to the best of our knowledge. It was called Mystic Man. You can check that out. She did it on the Dream Within a Dream tour. And then the other one was called Look Who's Talking. And she ended up actually giving that song to Boa, a Japanese singer who's fantastic. She did an English album and that song is on it. And awesome. But there is a leaked version of Britney singing it. And the co-writer, Michelle, on the record, basically said that there were a lot of cryptic messages within the lyrics of that song, which were ultimately part of the reason why Britney chose not to release it, because she wanted to take the high road. But one of the lyrics that is in Look Who's Talking Now is, I was true to you, justify my point of view, and now you're looking at me. Yeah, you're looking at me. And the whole song just has a bunch of little digs at him. But again, she decided, nope, we're going to move on. I am going to go ahead. I'm going to work with my idol, Madonna. I'm going to put out a song, and that's going to be crazy. And then I'm going to totally revolutionize pop with Toxic, because her label didn't want her to put that out. But she took the high road, and she cemented herself as a legend without having to drag Justin through the mud. And the same cannot be said for him.
Yeah, I love this. I was true to you, justify my point of view. Like, yeah, this is pretty good shade.
Yeah.
So, yeah, well said. So, yeah, look, at the end of the day, it does, and bravo on the Britney. You brought in some a lot. You can you're going to be putting some more Britney breakdowns over on
yes.
It's Kim. So
yes.
good opportunity to plug, since she's clearly a decent stan who knows her Britney stuff even more than I.
I have a lot of useless information in my brain that I'm very happy is becoming useful.
And I'm happy you're here to help me. But yeah, well, I'll put the description in the video, her link in the description of this video. You can go click it there. Yeah, so. And I want to get to everybody else's, Lewis and Steph's thoughts as we break this down. I mean, he totally used her fame, used her name for his fame and attention. And he went out to radio shows talking about, yeah, I did her. Like, he made it a whole, like, contest and sort of kicked it down while he was sort of riding that high. And I think a lot of us fell for it. Steph, I want to get your thoughts, too. I mean, you experienced some of this, too, when we lived through it. But do you feel like it's safe for her to say, yeah, you exploited me and used my name to sell your album?
Totally. And that's not my bias saying that, because, I'm Queen Britney all the way, don't get me wrong, but the facts speak for themselves. He did a song about her, put out a lookalike in a video of her, made it absolutely blatant it was about her, did all the interviews making it blatant it was about her. And in one of the interviews, I think it was the Howard Stern show, although I may be mistaken, so I'll put my hands up to that if I am. But at the time, I remember there was this whole thing about Britney's V card, right? And, not to do it before marriage, blah, blah, blah. And she had that kind of image of that, right? Of still having a V card, all that malarkey. But I think it was Justin Timberlake on the Howard Stern show, or somewhere like that, where he turns around and he admits, yeah, we did it. Yeah, we did it. Like, in front of, like, millions of people that would have listened to that and would have watched that. He literally announced, yeah, I took a V card. Like, dude, out of everything that he did, right, that is, to me, one of the most forgotten moments that Justin Timberlake did that's overlooked. But to be fair, I think that must be, in my opinion, the most abhorrent and the most hated thing that Justin Timberlake ever did. Step aside the video, what he sung about the image, this, that, and the other. Because, I mean, to be fair, Taylor Swift does that. Okay. Just the fact alone that he announces to the world, yeah, I took a V card. I'm sorry, but that ain't a gentleman. That is a proper scumbag. A lot of people overlook that, and that needs to be scrutinised even more. And he really needs to be held accountable for that moment. Disgusting.
Yeah, 100%.
Right,
Full disclosure, I'm actually working on a video about that.
Hey!
about Britney and the way that her virginity and the way that her sexuality has been viewed over the years, because I have my own personal theories about that, and yeah, that whole thing makes me really heated.
There's a lot of these clips, but once Justin did that, right? It just
hope that you'll remain a virgin until you get married.
Yeah, my mom always told me once you have sex with a guy that, you know.
It's like, why are we talking about this?
There's many reasons we're talking about it.
The fact that we were talking about, no, I'm saying why is they on the Access Hollywood? Why were they talking about? Yeah, it's like so absurd that they were this. She was just growing and learning, and we're like, do they do that to Billie Eilish? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like nowadays, it's like things are way different, and the fact that we were as a culture like. What's her name? She's a famous reporter. This from Access Hollywood. I forget her name, but Nancy O'Doyle, whatever. She's like literally all a woman. So tell me about your virginity. Like, how dare she? It's like so disgusting that as a culture we were at that level, and no one's freaking business. But Justin made it everyone's business and then exploited. I'm with you guys 100%. And it's all beyond even that. Just the music, everything he was doing. He was definitely mimicking her style because she was huge at the time. You guys got to remember, Britney was huge. Then NSYNC was huge, but Justin Timberlake was not yet huge. He was becoming huge due to his relationship to Britney and because he was sort of the hottest guy from NSYNC. But he had to, make that break from boy band to solo act, which, notice didn't work for the rest of them, right? Why did it work for him? Britney, sorry.
It's Britney, bitch.
That's why it worked. So yeah, I absolutely he did. As I just clip this, we can talk more about it. Anything else that either of you want to add on this post itself? I mean, obviously the focus here is Justin. It's nice to see her finally call him out because previously she had tagged him and it seemed like maybe they're on good terms. Who knows? But I'm glad she's not just giving him a full pass, just like Janet is. Like, don't give him just a full pass. Like, call this shit out. You don't have to, you can forgive, but let's not forget, and let's make sure people remember what he did to an extent, because I don't think he really ever did fully own up and prove the actions of what he did here, which was extreme, way more extreme than an Instagram post is going to solve. Any other comments, though, about the fact that also calling out her sister, her mom for exploiting her with these books? Steph, do you think that's why she's now even more empowered to write the book herself to finally get that karma?
Oh, hell yeah. That, and I think it's more the overriding kind of feeling that, I speculate is in her, is that her voice has been silenced and dampened for so long, and she's been controlled for so long, that now she's got her freedom. She's like, do you know what? Screw you lot. I've got my voice back. I'm going to show you how it's really done, Jamie-Lynn, and everyone else that was part of Team Con. I'm going to use my voice now, and I'm coming after every single one of you. You wrote your books. My turn now, bitches. So yeah, I think it's something like that.
Correction, you are right, Stephanie. Stephanie? Yeah, it's Stephanie on the chat. She said Backstreet Boys were bigger. You are correct. Back then, Backstreet Boys were bigger than NSYNC, and then it sort of changed a bit, but they were without a doubt the bigger boy band at the time. And then NSYNC became pretty big too. But well said.
May I add something there?
Yes.
Just a little bit of plug for Andy. I do have an opinion in regards to the whole NSYNC, Britney Spears situation from an international point of view. So I know that we're clipping this video for everyone that's subscribed to Popcorn Planet, but if you want to hear my opinion from an international perspective about NSYNC and Britney Spears and my little theory about all of that and why Justin really rode on Britney the way that she did, make sure you become a member on Popcorn Planet because you get to see this full replay beyond this video that's clipped, and you'll get to hear my interesting little opinion on that.
Oh, we're gonna do this here. I'm excited for that. She's pumping me, but I was ready to pump a plug for you, which is make sure you go subscribe to Steph the Alternate on YouTube. I appreciate you being here. Lewis, I know you're here, but I'm gonna get your opinion on the other because we already got so late. Lewis, make sure to support Nerd Report and make sure to support our resident Britney expert, Stan. It's Kim over there. Appreciate you guys watching. If you're watching live, don't go anywhere. We are not done. We're going to go on against NSYNC versus Backstreet Boys. Oh, I can't wait. Plus, we got that whole Chris Rock opening you're not going to miss. Our replays are fire. If you want to see the full stream because you missed us live, go check us out by hitting join, pick a level, and you can support over there. We trim these just to keep the algorithm in our favor because 4 hour streams sometimes don't fit well in the channel analytics. So thanks for watching. If you caught this before the trim, hey, you made it. You're awesome. If you're watching live, don't go anywhere. We're not done yet. We'll be right back to you in like 5 seconds.
It was 3.